You had
Hello,
to
I'm
unmute yourself
Jonathan
first.
Myrick. I graduate TCC this May. I'll be transferring to Tarleton to get my BBA major in HR. Interesting fact, I guess, is I'm a big music fanatic and I go to approximately 10 to 15 concerts a year, if not more. And I just look forward to joining everybody and seeing what this is all about.
All right. Any in particular you want to get out of this webinar that I can address or to check it out for now?
I'm just here to listen and learn.
All right. Okay, Eric Diaz, I saw you turn on the camera. Would you like to go? You have to unmute yourself first. The unmute button is on the top next to the camera. There you go.
Hello. I just logged in. If you don't mind catching me up, what's happening?
Oh, okay, no problem. We are just doing introduction. Tell us about your name. Tell us about your major and one fun fact about yourself.
Oh,
And what do you want to
okay.
get out this webinar?
Well, hello. My name is Eric Diaz. My major is currently in business administration. Um, One fun fact is that I am a cosmetologist. I've been in the beauty industry. I'm freshly in. I just got my license. And one thing that I want to get out of this seminar would be just information on how to like actually practically set up for for financial independence, retirement early, because that's definitely something I want.
You come to the right person. I have been infatuated with that concept. I did discover it like last year, and I definitely think that is a really, really great movement in the society. All right, so I don't know we have time for that, but I will try my best. Okay. All right, so I see Lakeisha in the chat. Her name is Lakeisha Smith. My major is human resource management. Oh, lots of HR major in this room. Fun fact, I love dinosaur. I'm excited to learn about all the new information I'm not aware of. Okay, who want to go next? Raise your hand. Does any of the faculty or staff would like to go? Courtney Hathaway, go ahead, Courtney.
Sorry, I don't know if you guys can see me.
We can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Hi, I'm Courtney Hathaway. I'm actually your social media officer.
Oh.
So I figured I would go next. I am majoring in education, and I plan on graduating this semester and then transferring out to Texas Women's University. A fun fact about myself is I am a musician and I play cello.
Oh, wow. And anything you want to take away for or learn about this webinar that I can focus on?
Any budgeting tips you have, especially for like the times we're in right now?
Okay, that's a really good one. I didn't have a slide for that. All right, Candice, you turn on your camera. Would you like to go, Candice?
Sorry, I just got here. Are we just introducing ourselves?
Yes. So tell us your name, your major, one fun fact about yourself, and what do you want to get out of this webinar?
Okay. So my name is Candice Vandy Walker. I'm in business. I love woodworking. That's an interesting fact. And out of this seminar, the same as the lady that was speaking when I joined, budgeting tips and anything to better ourselves personally, financially.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Candice. All right, a lot of required budgeting. I wish I had more slide on that. Okay, so Adriana, she put it on the chat. My name is Adriana. I am majoring in business. I love to travel and go hiking with my dogs. I hope to learn some tip on how to save money. I love to shop. I love to shop too. So I saw a hand raising. So Christina, go ahead, my girlfriend. She's my coworker, by the way.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. So I am not going to turn on my camera and scare you because I've been dealing with kids all day, but I did want to say hi, and I've been with Beta Chi Zeta chapter since the inception pretty much. And I'm so excited to be here. Really excited to see your faces. Jonathan, I have a question for you. Best concert you've ever been to and best music, what is it? Tell me. I got to know.
Best concert would be the original Black Sabbath that I got to take my dad, and my favorite music is grunge from the 90s.
Grunge, so like Nirvana? Is that
I
correct?
prefer Alice in Chains, but yeah, Nirvana falls in that category.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're passing me up, buddy. Yeah, that you are a star at that. Great, that's awesome. And we had a musician. I'm so excited, all these talented people. Okay, I'm sorry, I just wanted to say hi. That's all.
All right, thank you, Christina. And what's interesting about yourself? I want to learn.
I like to travel. I have a weird, like, maybe you like to go to concerts, Jonathan, but I like going to like crazy pilgrimage sites where like metanoia things have happened, that nobody can explain. Science can't. People have seen things. I think that is fascinating.
Thank you so much for sharing, Professor Bickler. And then I got in the chat, Alice Hope. Hi, my name is Alice Hope. I currently get my degree in Associate of Art, but I plan to go to TQU. And next is Brittany. My name is Brittany. I am major in psychology. I love to paint and make art. I hope to learn tip of how to build my saving. All right, so lots of requests for budgeting and saving. All right, so it's 2:23. If you don't have the chance to introduce yourself, you can put it in the chat. In the meanwhile, I'm going to start the presentation because I want you to get the most out of it. But this is just some interesting thing to break the ice so that we can build a community, okay? All right. So let's see. All right, so here's my next slide. So before I present this topic, I want you to know a little about myself and my background because I've been to a lot of presentation and I'm like, you know what? I wonder if my student wonder where's Miss Trinh background and what make her think that she's a personal finance expert to stand here and teach about this topic. Did she actually learn it from some textbook and then she just, read the PowerPoint, or is it something that she live and try and true? So here is my background. Okay, so talk about my work history before I became a professor at Tarrant County College. So I forgot it to put it on my bio, which I should. I was a past banker and I work in business consulting. I actually won multiple awards doing that. So my past success story is I advise over 350 small business, and I help them to get funding to small business loan of $27 million. And then during my decade in the finance industry, I have every job title under the sun from mortgage broker, SBA loan officer, and financial advisor. Here is some of the accolades that I have received and also some client testimonial. I'm sorry, it's tiny to read. So I say earlier, I am a 3-time winner of America SBC Award for the $1 Million Loan Club. And I also a TCC Chancellor Excellent Award. And here is some of the presentation and also publicity that I receive on VSFA TV and Saigon Radio 16 FM. All right, so all that sounds really, really great, but I actually want to talk about my why. I want to talk about my humble beginning so that you know why do I do what I do. I think as human beings, we always had to go back to our root. We always had to know why do we do what we do, okay? So as you can see in the picture, you see a family of 2 young parents and 2 young kids. So I am this little girl right here. Okay, so I want to share with you so that you get to know me not at my title, but also as a human being. In my personal life, I was born and raised in rural Vietnam, and we were in extreme poverty when I grew up. I grew up in a house with no running water and no electricity. Just to tell you how poor we was. So, and of course, I didn't have any of the modern amenity like cell phone, computer, those kind of stuff until I was in high school. But that's not a sad story, okay? I don't want you to feel bad for me. As a matter of fact, my humble beginning is actually my superpower, which I will tell you later. So both of my parents, they are serial entrepreneurs. They started and failed and succeeded at several businesses. And the business that they were successful in enabled them to lift our family out of extreme poverty, send all the children to United States for education, which was very expensive for international students, and also retire at the age of 50, on top of creating a lot of job for the community and give back to a lot of charitable organizations. So their life stories really, really inspired me. And when I came to United States at the age of 23, I actually encountered a lot of financial hardship. Okay, so that's why when Professor Park and Professor Misty asked me to present the topic, I'm like, this is something that I have lived through, and I'm a success story, but there's a lot of struggle. So I will tell you about my struggle. It may be a little bit too much information. This is not a soft story. This is, like I said, is a success story, and I intend to inspire you, so that whatever situation that you are in, you can do it also. So here's my personal story when I arrived United States in 2003. So when I arrived to the US, I brought over $300. So you probably like, oh God, is that all she had? But in Vietnam, $300 is like $30,000, y'all. So that's really all I had at that time. I thought I brought over a lot of money. Little I know that where I live in California, in Orange County to be exact, it didn't last me very long. Okay, so that was in 2002. Okay, so that over 20 years ago. Now we are a millionaire household. It took 20 years to get there, but I have had more than $300 in my saving. When I were in the banking industry in 2008, I did graduate from UTA with my executive MBA, and then the financial crisis happened. So I got laid off. And within very, very short amount of time, I have student loan. I racked up a bunch of debt, $100,000 to be exact. So if you have a lot of debt, I know exactly how it feels. All right, so fast forward now. Guess what? Miss Trinh is debt free. She pay up her house, and also she and her husband achieve financial freedom. Um, when I arrived to the United States, I have absolutely no credit. I actually couldn't even get a phone. So do you know that you actually had to have personal credit to get a phone, because it's actually a credit product? So fast forward now, my FICO score is in the 800, and I pretty much can get any loan I want to. And back in the day, I was always working. I have no money or time to travel. As you already know from my introduction that I love traveling. So, and traveling costs money, of course. So fast forward to 20 years later, I have been over 20 countries and keep counting. And then back in the day, I have stuck in a job that I hate just so that I can pay bill. And I'm sure that some of you can relate to that. Well, I am happy to report that I actually love my job. I'm financial independent. I am in slow five right now, and we can afford to retire if we want to. But we actually love our job, so we're still working because I love my career. I feel that my career is very rewarding. I get to help students like you every single day. I get to have small business, and I make a lot of deep impact in community. But remember, I used to stuck in a job that I hated just so I could pay bill. So the reason I'm telling you all this, because I don't care wherever you are right now. If you don't even have $200 in your saving account, if your credit screwed up, if you don't have any time to do what you love, I have been there. I know how you feel. I can relate to you, and I could help you. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. All right, so before we jump into any technique about personal finance, and I have plenty, I want to talk about something that not related to personal finance. So third, be patient and bear with me, okay? Because we going somewhere, I promise you. I want to talk with you about something called the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Okay, so the reason I want to talk about the fixed mindset and growth mindset, because it's a story that I actually have with my girlfriend. So I have a girlfriend. Our children go to school together. One day we have a play date, and she will complain with me. She's like, you know what? I've been renting all my life, and I got kicked out by my landlord 3 times because they had to sell the house. So they kick us out, and I had to go find another place to live. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. So it's like, you know what? Let's sit down. Let me help you how to buy a house. I was a mortgage loan officer. I know everything about buying a house. And I go on how that she can save, and I'll do all that, stuff. And then at some point she interrupt me. She said, you know what, Kathy, I actually don't think I can do it. I am bad with money. My parents filed for bankruptcy. I don't think I can ever get there. And that is dawned on me, is if we don't work our mindset, if we don't think that we can do it, okay? So to be able to achieve anything in life, from money, from wealth, health, relationship, to be able to do anything in life, we must adopt something called growth mindset. Are you with me so far? Okay. So do you ever wonder why some people succeed? and others stay stuck for many years. From my experience, consulting hundreds and hundreds is some business. The difference is not where we come from. The difference is not, if we come from rich or poor. I come from a very poor family, as you can tell. I'm an immigrant. Is it the difference is our mindset. Okay, so your brain have a lot to do with your success. So think about your brain like a muscle. Okay, see, you can see my muscle, right? It actually can grow and it actually can shrink. And how do we make it grow? By adopting a growth mindset. So how you do that? Here, I'm gonna give you a very famous story. Have you ever heard about Thomas Edison? Yes? Give me a thumbs up. All right. So Thomas Edison invented the light bulb. But do you know that it took him 10,000 experiments to get it right? 10,000. Yeah, you hear it right. It's not a typo. So here his famous quote: I haven't failed. I just found a 10,000 way that it won't work. Okay, so that is the kind of mindset that you had to adopt. All right, so you had to believe that you can learn to do anything you want. Like my girlfriend, she said, "Oh, I'm bad with money." Well, that is the fixed mindset, which means you either good or bad with money. And by the way, there's no such thing that good or bad with money. Everything can be learned. That's why I'm in education, right? I believe that you can learn anything, and I can teach anything if you are willing to learn. So she can turn her situation around, say, you know what? I came from a family who's very bad with money. My parents filed for bankruptcy. I don't learn a single good thing from them, but I can learn anything I want, and I like to try new things. And instead of hanging out with my parents, I might want to hang out with Miss Cathy and learn, all the trick and tip and technique about saving and investing money. So one day I can buy my house. But are you with me so far? So that's the kind of mindset that you had to adopt. Until you adopt that mindset, until you adopt that mindset, then whatever goal you set for yourself, you will not be able to achieve it, because unless you believe that you are willing to face the challenge, you're willing to learn, you're willing to grow, and you're willing to overcome whatever obstacle that face your way. Because the road to financial freedom is a long, is a hard road. It's not easy. I have lived it, I have done it, and I'm not here to tell you it's easy, but it can be done, and I have proved it myself. Okay, so with that, let's move on to the next slide. So the next technique that I want you to adopt after you have adopt a growth mindset, I want you to sit down and write your personal vision statement. Okay, again, this had nothing to do with finance, so don't drop on me, and I will tell you why it's important to have this done. Okay, so I think that because nowadays people are so busy and there's so much on social media, people actually don't really spend time to think about what kind of person they want to become. I personally believe so from teaching a lot of students. So what you want to do is, and I'm sorry that it's teeny tiny, let me increase it. Okay, can you see better? All right, so what you want to do is, I want you to think about what kind of person you want to become. Okay, I want you to think about what kind of person you want to become. Do you want to be a successful person? Do you want to be a mom? What is your core value? And how it's going to pan out in your life. So to be able to do that, you want to go to some place quiet. Okay, you want to dedicate at least a couple hours for this. You want to write down your experience, talk about your life, your work experience, education, success, failure. And next, from your life experience, you will be able to define your passion, calling. Okay, so you will find out where do God want to put you in this life, where your place in this earth. Okay, after that, you want to list at least 5 core life value. So some of the core values like honesty, hard work, family, spiritual health. My 5 core value is perseverance, give before you get, family first, do things right the first time. Um, and then you want to identify what motivates you. Why are you doing what you're doing? And then you make it 50 words or less. And then you want to print it out. You want to put it somewhere you can see it every day, and you want to live it every day. So I give you an example. This morning, the alarms snooze, and I actually didn't want to feel wake up. I have a very unrestful night, but I want to be successful. So what does successful mean? Successful person mean, you get up in the morning, you roll out of bed, and you get your day going. So that's what I did because I want to be a successful person. So it's your turn to think about what kind of person you want to become. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So to give you an example, what personal vision look like. Here's a example that I have. Okay, so this fictional person, his name is Bob Thompson. His personal vision, he want to live in service to my community. Here's his value: diversity, loyalty, service, grow. And then he want to make a lasting change. He want to ease all the confusion. He want to leave a legacy. And here's how it's breakdown of all the timeline in his life about how he's going to do that. Okay, and here's another example about how you can break it down in your life goal. You can have a life goal, break down to 5-year plan, and daily goal. So that is one of technique to align our core value, our personal vision, with whatever we do in our life by break it out by yearly and also daily. And here's another technique to make it exciting. So most of the time go and doesn't work because it's so boring. So here's the technique, it's called dream castings. After you do all this, I want you to do dream casting. So what does that mean? It means the process of getting all your dream down on paper so you know what you want to accomplish. Okay, so the first thing is you had to remove any holding back. For example, when I dream about travel the world, remember I have $300 came into the United States. Do you really think $300 is gonna get me to travel the world? No, but I have a dream. Okay, so I'm gonna write it down. All right, and also after you remove everything that hold you back, you want to find picture to inspire you. Okay, so here an example of dream casting look like, and this look very exciting. So this is another example I found on internet. Uh, you can tell that this lady, her dream is she want to buy a new car. So this is the car that she want to buy, which probably cost a lot of money. She want to read a lot of book. She want to never stop learning. She want to go to Disney. Here's the picture of Disney all over the world. He wanted to go to Trinidad Tobago. And he want to grow spiritually. So you can do a dream casting, a vision board like this, and then you want to put it on your refrigerator. You want to put it anywhere that you can see, even your laptop, because it will help you remind of your dream and how to get there. All right. So are we clear on this? Before we do any technique on personal finance, what do you have to do? You had to adopt what? The first one, a growth mindset. You had to write out your personal vision. You had to do dream casting, and you had to create your vision board. Okay. After you do all of that, you have a clear goal, like what kind of person I am, where do I want to be in 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 30 years, and what is it going to look like. You had to have a solid vision of what it look like by the vision board. Okay, so now let's talk about what's going on with the state of personal finance in United States in 2022. Okay, that will give you a baseline about what's going on in our country. And y'all, I'm telling you, I'm sorry, I have bad news. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I have been watching it for the past 20 years, and this year is one of the worst year I ever seen. And inflation doesn't have. So here is the study from the Dave Ramsey solution. So the study has showed that nearly 4 in 10 Americans report they have zero in saving. Yeah, zero in saving. Would mean that they only one step from being evicted. Let's say you have a car broken down, you have money fixed, you lose your job. So that's how bad it is. Okay. The next start is 1 in 5 Americans say they fell deeper into debt since June of 2022. The next slide, nearly, and I got this slide because most of you guys are students, okay? And I'm sure at some point, or maybe right now, you all have some student loan. So nearly half student loan borrowers are extremely worried about payment restarting in January 2023. Here's another stat. And 50% of Americans say finance have a negative impact in their mental health. Okay, 50. So there are 30 people in this room. So at least 15 of you guys have negative impact on about finance in your mental health. The next one is I see a lot of young people in here. So the younger generation are more worried about their finance than older generation. The number, the Gen Z is 71% to be exact. The millennial is 64%. Okay, so that pretty much, the majority of the young, the Gen Z and millennial. And then lastly, this is really, really sad. More Americans struggling to cover the basic need. So I'm gonna read it out to you because I know some of you is on phone, it's kind of hard to see. Ireland, I saw you like put your face on the phone. So about 62% of Americans struggle to pay his or her rent. 62, y'all. And 49 struggle to pay the mortgage. 56 struggle to pay the bill, and 44% struggle to pay for food. Okay, that is very, very, very sad statistics. Okay, so do we want to be a star, or do we want to be a success story? Who want to be a success story? Raise your hand. All right, thank you. All right, all right, now after all the sad and depressing fact, let get some positive into, into this conversation, okay? So I have a solution for you, and you do not have to take picture or anything like that, because I will PDF everything, okay? And then I'll email to you, okay? So here is the baby step by Dave Ramsey solution. So a lot of stuff I talk about, Miss Trinh didn't invent it, okay? She simply take it from the past. So it's called Dave Ramsey baby step. Okay, you Google Dave Ramsey step, you will see it everywhere. So it's very simple. That's why it's called Dave Ramsey step. So the first step is you must have emergency fund. Are you with me so far? And it's got to be $1,000. So that's the first step. That's so easy, right? I mean, $1,000, not too bad. But here's where I'll come and say you must have an emergency fund, but you don't spend it. Okay, you either open a different bank account somewhere and throw away, um, uh, or shred your debit card, or have somebody keep it so you don't touch it, because at some point you will need it. Okay, that maybe step number two, you want to pay up your debt using debt snowball. The third step, after you get all that, you want to have at least 3 to 6 months of your living expense in a saving account. After you get that done, then you want to invest 15% of your earning into a tax favor account. And then the next step is if you have children. I can see a lot. You are very young in this crowd, so you probably don't have to worry about that. But if you have children, well, you need to fund college for your children. And then the next one is pay up your home early if you can. And then lastly is where you're ready to build wealth, and he wants you to give a bunch away back to your community. All right. So do we agree with the baby step? And by the way, I will not talk about all the baby steps, but I will talk about, the important one, okay? So the next step that you need to do is I need you to understand your number, okay? Only when you understand your number is when that you'll be able to understand where you at and where you want to be. And by the way, I see a bunch of hand raising in the chat. Do we have any question? Or do we want to keep moving? So I saw, let me see. I saw Angela, I saw Nicole, I saw Aaron. Raise your hand. Any question for me? Yes, no?
No question.
Oh, okay. All right. Then if that's the case, you want to take your hand off because that's how I know you have question or not. Okay. All right. So
That was from
so
earlier.
the very first thing is I need you to know your number. Okay. So here is and I apologize, Tiny. Ireland, I'm sorry. I know it's gonna be hard. Okay. So first, I want you to know where you at financially. I want you to know your network. Okay, right here. So network is by what you own minus by what you own. Are you with me so far? So you take what you have in your checking, your saving account, your retirement. If you have a house, how much does it worth? And then your car and your jewelry, and then you put it in one column. And then you minus whatever you own. So you have credit card debt, put it in. You have auto loan, you have mortgage, you have installment loan, other, and that's come up with your total liability. So you take your total asset minus by your liability, you come with your net worth. Are you with me so far? Okay, very important. Got that done. The next thing is this is for the people who want to learn more budget. So whoever want to learn more about budget, this is your jam, okay? So I want you to sit down and learn about your cash flow. I want you to write down all your monthly income, okay? If you have 1 job, 2 job, 3 job, I want you to write down how much you make per month and how much you make per year. And then I want you to write down all your cash outflow. I want you to write down your income tax, your credit card bill, your auto debt, your rent, your mortgage, your insurance, electric, everything. And then we will know how much you spend every month. How much does it cost to maintain your lifestyle? Are we good so far? And by the way, don't worry about taking picture. I will email it to you. Okay, Miss Trinh have you covered. All right, I have about 10 minutes left, so let's move on. All right, so after I have my client to fill this out all the time, and I make a joke after we done with this, I know more about them than their own mother. Is this true? I know more about them, their own mother, their own wife. So after that, if you wonder like how much you should allocate in each category, is it how you divide your paycheck? So for the people who have struggled to save, what you can do is you can split your paycheck. So Candid, I know you are TC, right? You can request the HR, say, you know what, instead of deposit all my paycheck in one account, I want you to split it into 5 different accounts, okay? So it may be one account for my spend and spend, one account for my emergency funding, one account for my retirement funding. Are you with me so far? So that by the time the money get to your account, you have exactly what you need, and whatever needs to be stuck away, it already stuck away, and you don't miss it because it's already gone before it get to your hand. Okay, so that is one really effective way to save, before the money get your account. Because I promise you, when you get your account, you see a bunch of cash, you don't want to go out and shop. Trust me. Um, so that is one tip and technique for saving, but you got to know this number first, okay, before you can go to this step. All right, and so after you got your emergency $1,000 out of the way, you want to pay up your debt, and it's called the debt snowball method. And it is very simple. You want to list all your debt from the smaller debt to the largest amount. Okay, and then you want to pay on every debt. You want to pay the minimum so that you don't get a late payment. Okay, so you want to at least maintain that, and then you want to pay as much as you can on the smaller debt until you pay it off. So it give you a really exhilarating feeling. Let's say that you have 5 credit card, okay, and a mortgage and student loan. Well, pay up the credit card, and after 1 is gone, 2 is gone, it give you a lot of morale to keep going until you tackle them all. Okay, so one the smallest debt is pay roll to the next one and the next one, and that is why it's called debt snowballing. Okay, and keep doing it until you pay up all your debt. All right, so now that we pay up all the debt, guess what? It's time to save. I think that somebody talk about saving. All right, so I want you to stock at least 15% of your paycheck into a tax favor account. So what are they? If you have a job, most company will have something called 401k. Candid, we work for TCC, so we don't have that. We have something called 403b or 457. Okay, and I actually will do another lunch and learn on that topic. I can let you know when. And then if you want to have your own traditional retirement account, it's called IRA, it's Roth IRA or traditional IRA, then you can open it with a brokerage house. And also, here's one account a lot of people miss. And we actually have it at TCC, Candid. We have something called health saving account. If you are on a PPO plan, for your healthcare. If you're on an HMO, you don't have that. And that have a lot of tax saving. And I would love to stay here and answer more questions, but I have like less than 10 minutes. I had to go on, okay? Um, so let's see, next one. So earlier, I think somebody talked about he want to learn more about FI. So FI stands for Financial Independent Retire Early. Okay, if you look up FI movement in Google, you will see all the movie and documentary and all the podcast about it. And I'm a big fan of that. So in FI, it have a concept called financial independent number, which means how much do I have to save? How much do I have to have so that I can keep withdrawing without running out of money? So it's actually extremely simple. Even my 5th grader can do it. First, you want to know what your annual spend. So you already know that because we did the budget, remember? And then you want to take that number and you want to multiply it by 25. So example, if you spend $40,000 per year, take 40,000 multiply by 25, then you have $1 million. With $1 million, you can withdraw 4% per year, and it run with you indefinitely. Okay, so that is called your financial independent number. So what do you do now? Well, you have the baby step. And my if you have one takeaway, my advice for you is I want you to start investing as soon as possible. Okay, as soon as possible. So here is an illustration of two person. One star at 25, at the age of 25, and one star at the age 30, and they put in the same amount of money, and which is $6,000 per year. Very doable, right? And they earn about 7% of compounding interest rate of return, which is also very, very easy. I know that my retirement earned at least 10% for the past 15 years. So you can see the lady who started early at the age of 25, at the age of 67 when she retires, she had $1.48 million. And the next lady who started 5 years later, she only had 1.03 million. So he said almost $500,000 less. So the earlier you start, the better up you are. Okay. All right. Lastly, let's talk about the 7 level of financial freedom. So you have to understand where you are. So the first one is you have to figure out where you are financially and where do you want to go. So we talked about that already. And if you move out your mom and dad's house, if you still staying with them, no judgment. But if you can move out and be on your own, you are self-sufficient. If you saving some money and you don't live paycheck to paycheck, guess what? You have some breathing room. If you have no bad debt and you have 6 months with a spend for emergency, you enter the phase called stability. And if you have at least 2 years of expenses saved, you could take a year upward. It's called flexibility. And when you can live off the income from your investment, you have achieved financial independence. Congratulations. And then when you become wealthy, you want to give some of your money away. You want to give back to the community. Okay. So that concludes my presentation. I'm sorry that it's so fast and furious, but I have half an hour, so I try my best. Okay, so what next? I would love for you all to fill out an evaluation survey, and I mean it. So it is only 5 questions. It takes only 30 seconds. You can take a picture of the QR code, or I can copy and paste the form in the chat, and it will tell me like what do you want for the next presentation. Okay, so and also it's helped me improve as a presenter and what works and what doesn't work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy and paste the link in here, and I have about 5 minutes for question and answer before I had to move on to the next meeting. So any question for me? Ireland,
So
go ahead.
yeah, you said so the best thing to invest right now is for our retirement.
Oh, the the best thing to invest right now. It is different. Okay. And the reason they're different because it depends on multiple factors. Number one is your age. I mean, you can tell that you're probably at least 20 years younger than me, right? So your situation will be different with my situation. The next thing is also it depends on something called your risk tolerance. Okay, so different people have different risk tolerance. And by the way, this whatever I say on this webinar, it is from education standpoint. I am not your financial advisor. That is my disclaimer. Anyway, while I'm talking to Ireland, the rest of you guys, would you please click on the form that I did drop in the chat and give me your evaluation? Because like I said, it will be really help me. And it's also to tell me that what you want to do, want to hear for the next presentation, so I can work on that. So please do that. But Aaron, let's go back on what you said. So, but Aaron, this is I would tell you to save you a lot of researching. If you ask me like, Mr. Where do I go to open my next investment account? My number one favorite, and I have most of my money there, is Vanguard. Okay. And then also, I am a big fan of something called target date fund, which means you identify the year that you want to retire, and then you put money in there, and they will pretty much allocate the money for you according to your age. Okay. And Candice, just so you know that at TCC, we also have something like that. It's under our 403B with tax saver. Okay. All right. Any other question for me? But again, Ireland, remember, I'm not your financial advisor. Talk with to a financial advisor about your particular situation.
Professor, do you have this recorded? Would you be able to send this to us?
Absolutely. So this is what I'm going to do. I will ask Professor Misty for a list of all the attendants in this webinar, and I will email you the PDF of my presentation and also the budget worksheet, so you can all have it. Okay, and also the recording, of course. Any other question for me? I know it's a lot to take in. All right, like I said, please fill out the evaluation form. It's only 5 questions, 30 seconds. Help me out. And I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you so much for spending your beautiful Thursday afternoon with me. And put in the survey with all the topics you want to hear next. We can dig deeper into this topic. We can talk about how to own a small business. That's also one of my area expertise. We can talk about goal setting to be successful in your personal professional life. There's a lot of topic I can talk about. All right. So with no further ado, Misty, I have an AC meeting to jump to. So thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Professor Trinh. We learned so much today. I will get